step inside the 1957 Chevrolet Bel-Air. And you're not just entering a car, you're stepping into the mindset of an entire era. The interior wasn't just designed for comfort. It was created to reflect the hopes and confidence of post-war America. Bright two-tone color schemes, polished chrome trim, and textured vinyl surfaces gave the cabin a feeling of energy and optimism. Everything from the sweeping dashboard to the airplane-inspired hooded gauges reminded the driver that this was no ordinary ride, it was a statement. The wide bench seats were inviting, built for families, friends, and weekend getaways. There was room to stretch out, to relax, to talk. And in the center of it all sat a steering wheel that didn't just guide you, it connected. With every mile, drivers felt in control, not because of electronics, but because of direct feedback from the road. The driving experience was honest, mechanical, and deeply human. Psychologically, this sense of direct interaction builds emotional attachment. That's why even decades later, people who sat behind that wheel still remember the feeling. Technology in the Bel-Air was carefully chosen, not futuristic by today's standards, but luxurious for its time. Push-button radios brought music to the ride. An electric clock gave it a modern touch. Options like air conditioning and power windows made it feel ahead of its time. These features weren't about showing off, they were about creating an experience that felt personal, comfortable, and even a little bit magical. For many, memories were made inside this car. First dates, family road trips, graduation drives, and when a moment is tied to emotion and place, psychology tells us it stays with us longer. The Bel-Air's interior wasn't just a shell, it was a backdrop to life's moments. And it did that with warmth, charm, and unmistakable American style. To sit inside a 57 Bel-Air is to travel not just through space here but through time. It reminds us of how cars used to feel, how design used to matter, and how something as simple as a seat could leave a permanent mark on the human heart. The legacy of the 1957 Chevrolet Bel-Air stretches far beyond its time. While many cars faded into history, the Bel-Air became something true. It became a cultural landmark. From drive-in theaters to Main Street parades, it wasn't just seen, it was remembered. And that's because the Bel-Air stood for more than style or speed. It captured the essence of the American dream of freedom, progress, and personal pride. Psychologically, humans are drawn to symbols that reflect who we are or who we want to be. The Bel-Air became that symbol. In movies, TV shows, and classic car shows, it kept reappearing, not just as a car, but as a feeling. It represents youth, simpler times, roads with no end. Its distinctive look, a mix of sharp fins, sparkling chrome, and vivid color, burned into the minds of generations. That visual memory taps directly into our emotional memory. We don't just see it, we feel it. Collectors today don't restore the Bel-Air just for investment. They do it to preserve a piece of emotional history. Driving one isn't just transportation, it's storytelling. It brings back moments they lived, on which they had lived. That's the power of a car that's bigger than itself. It becomes a bridge between past and present. What makes this even more powerful is how the Bel-Air's appeal crosses age and background. Whether someone grew up with it or discovered it later, the reaction is the same: admiration, curiosity, and respect. It's because the Bel-Air connects to deep emotional triggers, a nostalgia, identity, and a longing for beauty in motion. In a world filled with digital noise and fast change, the Bel-Air stands still like a photograph. It reminds us of craftsmanship, personality, and presence. It's not perfect by today's standards, but that's exactly why it matters. Its imperfections make it real, and in being real, it becomes unforgettable. For car lovers, that connection isn't mechanical, it's emotional, and that's why the 1957 Chevrolet Bel-Air still lives in the hearts of millions, long after its last factory mile. What truly sets the 1957 Chevrolet Bel-Air apart is its ability to bridge emotion, engineering, and identity in one elegant form. Unlike many classic cars that appeal only to niche collectors or performance purists, The Bel-Air speaks to a wider audience. That's because its value isn't rooted just in horsepower or rarity, it's in meaning. It represents a moment in time when design had soul, and every curve told a story. The influence of the Bel-Air didn't end with the 1950s. Its DNA carried into custom culture, hot rods, and lowriders. Artists modified it, rebuilt it, and reimagined it, but never erased its original charm. That's rare. Most cars lose their spirit when customized. The Bel-Air only becomes more itself. Psychologists call this the halo effect, where a strong first impression colors everything that follows. The Bel-Air's original design was so striking, so balanced, that even radical modifications couldn't dull its impact. Restoring a Bel-Air today is more than a project, it's a personal journey. Owners talk about their builds as if they're raising something sacred. The emotional investment often outweighs the financial one. That's the power of connection through touch, memory, and time. When we build, we bond. Car lovers know this instinctively. They see beyond rust and age. They see potential, legacy, and a chance to bring something beautiful back to life. Even among younger generations, the Bel-Air is gaining respect. In a digital world where most things are disposable, the Bel-Air offers permanence. It's tangible, heavy, real. You feel the metal, you hear the engine, you smell the fuel. It awakens senses modern cars silence. That sensory memory is powerful. It sticks. It pulls people in. This is why the 1957 Chevrolet Bel-Air isn't just a classic. It's a living icon, a piece of art that moves us physically, emotionally, and historically. It reminds us that cars aren't just built to move us down roads. The greatest ones also move us inside. And the Bel-Air does that with more grace and meaning than almost any car ever built.